I would like to give the floor to yours. Silakan.
Okay, terima kasih. Assalamualaikum and good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank you, School of Mechanical Engineering, UITM, and organizer, Dr. Bulan, Dr. Siti Rabiza. And I'm aware that this is the last session for this event, and I know that all students are very tired. So I will try my best to make it as light as possible, very casual, and feel free to stop me anytime during my presentation. I really like two-way communication, so that I believe it will be more interacting and will be give more value to everyone. Okay. So I would like to share my screen and let me know if everyone can see my screen. Dr. Siti
Okay.
Rabiza, can you see my
Yes.
screen?
Yeah, but make it full screen. Yes.
Okay. Good. All right. I would like to share my experience as a corrosion engineer in the oil and gas industry. So first of all, I would like to make a disclaimer that the content of this presentation are solely based on my personal opinion and experience, and it should not be considered represent of any organization mentioned in this presentation. Okay. So sebab saya buat benda macam ni kat UK, law dia macam very complicated, so tak nak macam ada conflict of interest kan. So this is just like a precaution. So as an engineer, we need to anticipate risk. So this is one of the practice. Alright, about the speaker. So about myself, I am currently a material and corrosion engineer for Shell UK. So I have 13 years of professional experience in the industry, so mainly in the United Kingdom. So I'm also a chartered engineer registered under United Kingdom Engineering Council. I am AMPP, or formerly known as the NIST. This is a global corrosion body for corrosion organization as a certified senior corrosion technologist. And I'm API certified piping inspector. So API stands for American Petroleum Institute. Also API certified risk-based inspection professional. I'm a professional member of Institute of Corrosion, United Kingdom, and also a professional member of Institute of Materials, Mining and Mineral. So, I mean, as you could see, photo on the right, top right, is basically, I mean, that was taken last week where I visited Amsterdam office, and photo down there on the bottom right is basically when I carry out some field visit on one of the gas plant in Scotland, right? So before I go further into the details, I would like to share you my journey from start to present, right? Mainly, I graduated in 2011. I graduated in a degree in material engineering from USM. So as you're aware, Dr. Siti Rabiza is my senior during my time when I was in USM. So in 2010, I mean, sorry, I go back when I did my degree, right? So in degree in material engineering, so it's mainly focused on a semiconductor, where I developed my interest into semiconductor field. I'm really into it, and one of the reasons why I really want to join semiconductor, I apply my internship in Intel Corporation. So in 2010, I did my internship in Intel. As you're aware, Intel is one of the global industry leader in semiconductor. And I did my internship there. I did all the program industrial experience, and I found out that this is not the field that I like. So this is one of my turning point where I decided semiconductor is not for my future, is not my passion, so I need to change my interest. So this is one of the important aspect why you need to have like a proper internship, because when you do your internship in a proper company, it gives you, I can say, experience, at least, like a real life experience, what you gonna do uh during your working life, give you exposure. It seems like manufacturing industry is not my, I can say, my passion. I cannot work in factory manufacturing. So I step back and I reflect. I mean, what I'm going to do is with my life, and I decide, right. So one of the subject that I study in the as a materials engineering in USM is metallurgy. So I can say I did some research. So I discovered that, okay, one of the route that we can go as a materials engineer is we can join oil and gas industry. So from there, I can say that I did my further research and decided, okay, I would like to join oil and gas industry. And I work hard since I've completed my internship on my final year to ensure that I could join oil and gas industry. Right. So I went to, I can say, career fair. I went to different what I can say, uh, technical talk about oil and gas industry. And yeah, I found a vacancy in oil and gas industry. And one of the things is during my time is technique, right? So I apply a job, and alhamdulillah, during that time I got a job as a graduate materials engineer at Technip in Kuala Lumpur in 2011. Right. So during my time as a graduate engineer in Technip, so I work with a lot of project that cover mainly international project for clients such as Total from France, Shell, Netherlands, and also our local big operator, which is Petronas. It gives me a lot of, I can say, exposure what I did in, I mean, as a material engineer. So in this time, I work with a corrosion. I mean, my colleague as a corrosion engineer. So I mean, basically, materials engineer and corrosion engineer are closely related. So this is where I uh, develop my interest in corrosion, and also this is one of my turning point. So when you join the industry, this is the opportunity for you to basically feel and discover what is your passion. So during my time in Technip between 2012 and 2011 to 2012, I discovered that I developed my passion into a corrosion engineering. And how to become a corrosion engineer? So I discovered that corrosion engineer is a very specialist role, right? So in order to become a corrosion engineer, you need to have like a specific knowledge. And I discovered that in Manchester, they offer master in corrosion control engineering. So while working in Technip, I applied for the master course and I got accepted. And I decided, okay, I would like to continue my postgraduate study in corrosion control engineering. Right. So the course took me about 1 year, and it's very intensive course. Even though it's 1 year, I don't have a chance to, I can say, to like, can say like enjoy, I mean, because it's very intensive. And I graduated as I got a master in corrosion control engineering in 2013. And after that, I realized that okay, I don't have any job, right? So what I'm gonna do is I need to find a job. I don't have a job back in Malaysia, and I still got about 3 months of visa in the United Kingdom after I completed my study. So during this time, I started to apply for any vacancy in the UK. I can say that I apply about 60 vacancies, and Alhamdulillah, I got, I can say, about 3 interview, one in Norway, but unfortunately, I don't get the job because I only managed to pass until second interview. Is very competitive, and I got offer at the Lloyd Register in Aberdeen as an assistant corrosion engineer. So I can say that, I mean, because you become assistant corrosion engineer, it's very, I can say, downgrade position. It's like a fresh start, right? Even though I got a little bit of experience as a graduate material engineer for 1 year, so I become an assistant corrosion engineer. But because I think it's better to me to have a good experience and a good base, so I decided to accept the job, right? So I became assistant corrosion engineer at Lloyd Register. This is a service provider for big operator in the UK, right? During my time as an assistant corrosion engineer in Lloyd Register, I work for project for Repsol UK. I'm managing the integrity management for its offshore asset for Repsol UK. Right. I can say that about 4 years of working for to provide service for Repsol UK. Repsol decide they want to have their own corrosion engineer in their own company. So they open a vacancy and I apply for the job. And because I work together with their engineer and they know me well and there's a mutual trust and they know I can do the job. Alhamdulillah, I got a job as a corrosion engineer for Repsol UK. Right. So this is one of the good you can join. I can say a bigger company, right? By provide service to them and you develop mutual trust and they could see your capabilities, your experience, and your competence. I think this is one of the route that you can get a job. And Alhamdulillah, I become a corrosion engineer for Repsol, which is a operator. So as you are aware, what is operator? Operator is the company that I can see own and produce oil. Example, in Malaysia, Petronas is one of the biggest operator in Malaysia. Right, this is Repsol is equivalent to that. So I worked there for I can say 5 years, and basically last year Shell advertised their position. They require materials and corrosion engineer for the company. Repsol to Shell, obviously Shell is 10 times bigger than Repsol. So that's what attracted me to join Shell. I applied my job there and I got all the qualities. I been shortlisted for interview and they they shortlisted about 3 people for the final interview and I'm the one who got selected to this role. So since August last year, I'm a material and corrosion engineer for Shell UK, managing the offshore, platform in the North Sea. Right. First off, and the next one, before I mean, tell you what is about my role, I need you to understand what is corrosion. Basically, corrosion, from definition from AMPP, is a natural occurring phenomenon commonly defined as a deterioration of a materials that result from a chemical or electrical reaction with its environment. So as you could see, the picture on the left is basically iron ore. How iron ore turn into a carbon steel pipe, right? So iron ore is a ferrum oxide in this form, and we process it, it's become carbon steel. So if you let it exposed to the environment from time to time, it will be naturally degraded and become a rusted pipe. So this is a natural process. Why it become like this? Because iron ore, of ferrum oxide is a stable form of ferrum. So that's the reason why it's become uh, corroded, which is ferrum oxide as well. So it's back to the nature. It's become more stable in its oxide form rather than this form. And what causes corrosion? So in order corrosion to happen, right, it's required three important factors. One is water, and the second thing is a corrodant. So corrodant is either what I can say oxygen, CO2, or bacteria. And the most important thing is you need metal because metal corrode, right? So like ceramic, polymer does not corrode, right? So I also want to make you aware we got a lot of different type of corrosion. So if you see corrosion, right? If you it's not necessary rust. It's not necessary the thing that you see from from the external, which is rust example. So rust is one of type of the external corrosion. We got two type of corrosion. One is external, one is internal. So first we go to the external, which is this is the most easiest form to notice, right? External corrosion, one of it is external atmospheric. So metal surface, let me say for carbon steel, which is the most common type of material that we use in the oil and gas industry, right? If we don't have any coating, don't have any protection, it exposed to environment. Basically, in the environment, we got water, we got oxygen, and we got metal. So we got three factors to cause corrosion. So from time to time, the external surface will start to form corrosion, right? And the second form of external corrosion is pitting, right? Pitting happen on the surface on the micro level. You cannot see on your naked eyes unless you got microscopic or magnifying glass. And another thing about the external corrosion is galvanic corrosion. Galvanic corrosion is happen when you got two dissimilar materials that got two different galvanic voltage in contact with each other. So example in this case, right? As you could see, the brown rust is a carbon steel, and the background of this one and the not rusted one is the stainless steel. This is very easy, to identify. So carbon steel is, I can say, less noble than stainless steel, and because of that, uh, carbon steel will corrode faster than stainless steel. And the last about the external corrosion is about corrosion under insulation. Corrosion under insulation is when basically in the process piping, just to give some example, we put some insulation. There's a lot of, I can say, reason why you need to put insulation, such as to conserve the heat or as a personal protection because some piping, process piping, operate at high temperature. So when the insulation got damaged, we got water ingress, and underneath the insulation, we will see corrosion because it is covered with insulation. We cannot identify it unless we strip the insulation. Example in this case, we strip the insulation and we could see the brown staining on the uh, on the pipe surface, right? For internal corrosion, there are a lot of form of internal corrosion. So I give four example of internal corrosion. One of it is CO2 corrosion. CO2 corrosion is very common form of corrosion that we found in the oil and gas industry because if we extract oil from seabed, right, the produce, the fluid, the oil also contain water. Apart from water, it also contain gas. So one of the gas that present in the produce fluid is carbon dioxide. So carbon dioxide, when it react with water, it can form carbonic acid, which is pretty acidic. And still, when it react with acid, it can cause like this form of corrosion, where it eat away the internal of the metal, right? And we also got H2S corrosion, which is hydrogen sulfide. So H2S mainly found in I can say Middle East or in Kazakhstan, right? This is a very toxic gas. Similar with CO2, it also can cause internal corrosion, right? And also erosion is also one of the form of internal corrosion. It's mainly because of the presence of solid in the produced fluid. I can say such as sand. When we got sand in the produced fluid and the flow is very fast, it can erode the pipe, right? So it can erode on the I can say on the what is the term? It can erode on the elbow in the uh, area of we got different geometry in the piping system, right? So this is like a direct impingement, direct impact of the solid to the internal of the piping. And the last form of corrosion that I present here is microbial induced corrosion. So when we get bacteria microbial contamination in the process system, it can react to produce a corrosive byproduct, which can cause like a small pit on the wall, on the internal of the metal, where if we didn't treat them, it can slowly eat away until we have a leak, which is the thing that we don't want happen in the industry. All right. So in general, where do you see the threat occurs? Right. See, this is a corrosion. Where you see corrosion occur in the oil and gas industry, right? So I'll give you one example. This is offshore oil platform in the North Sea, right? So we got different part of, structure and also process. As you could see here, this is a process system, right? This is where we could see all the, I mean, metal pipe, vessels, separator, where all the process occur. To separate, I can say, the crude oil into into different type of products such as gas, water, and also crude oil, right? So over here, right, what we can see, we could see uh, different type of corrosion. Example, atmospheric corrosion, we could happen here. It can happen chloride pitting. It can happen corrosion under insulation and stress corrosion cracking here. And also this is for process system, internal corrosion can happen, the type that I just mentioned, yeah, over here. This is the jacket structure. This is one of the important aspect because we need to ensure the integrity of the jacket structure so that it can withstand the load of the platform, right? So usually in this part, it's susceptible to atmospheric corrosion. And this is the accommodation block where basically all the personnel will sit or stay during the night, right? We got office here as well, right? So if there's potential susceptible corrosion that can occur here is microbial induced corrosion and also oxygen corrosion. So how to manage corrosion? Because corrosion is, I can say, natural process. It will happen. We cannot, I mean, what we can say is it's difficult to stop corrosion. However, we can manage it. We can slow it down. So this is one of the important aspect that we as a corrosion engineer need to understand how to control the corrosion. First, material selection, right? So we need to ensure that the material that we select for the design, right, and for the process is suitable for the intended purpose, right? Example for fluid that has high CO2 gas, right? If you put carbon steel, it will be corroded faster. So in order to prevent that, we can choose higher grade material, which is duplex stainless steel. You got, I can say, minimum 22 chromium in one of the composition, got nickel content as well. So by selecting duplex stainless steel, this material resistant to CO2 corrosion. Okay, for seawater service, right? So in oil and gas, seawater service being used uh, as a fire water, right? If we got fire, I mean, we use seawater to, I mean, to keep uh, the fluid in the service, right? So stainless steel is not suitable for seawater. Carbon steel also not suitable for seawater. So the right material for seawater service is copper alloy or Monel. This is resistant for this particular service, right? And the second uh, thing that we can do is how to control corrosion is by chemical control. We change the environment by applying chemical control. Right? Example, if basically the fluid got CO2, so we can put corrosion inhibitor in the service fluid. We inject it from top side to the subsea well so that the fluid will contain corrosion inhibitor, where the corrosion inhibitor will provide a protection layer to the metal surface. An example, if we got oxygen in the system, right? Example, this is for water injection system in the oil and gas, I mean, in the process system, right? So in order to how to remove the oxygen is we can put oxygen scavenger. Basically, it will eat away all the remaining oxygen in the system so that the fluid will become oxygen free. The third way is we can apply coating. So basically coating isolate the metal from the corrosive environment surrounding it. So we basically prevent, I mean, we remove one of the factor corrodant from present in the metal, right? So that's the reason why we need to apply coating. So we protect the external layer. And the fourth one, we can have a cathodic protection, right? One of the cathodic protection is sacrificial anode to protect offshore structure, right? So as you could see in the photo here, is like a metal bar. Example, this is like an aluminum bar, and the brown I can structure here is a carbon steel, right? So if you look at the galvanic, I can say galvanic chart, right? So aluminum bar is less noble compared to carbon steel. In this case, right, aluminum bar will get corroded first, but carbon steel will remain protected. So this is one of the way how to manage corrosion. And the last one is by design. We need to ensure that the operating parameters as per design limit, right? Example, if the system designed for 50-degree, we need to make sure that it doesn't exceed 50-degree because it was designed, I mean, suitable only to that temperature, right? I can say that for stainless steel material in a marine environment, it can operate up to 50-degree because above that it will be susceptible to chloride cracking, right? And I'm talking about corrosion, right? Probably you also, I mean, want to know the importance of corrosion. What is the impact of corrosion, right? First, to the economy, according to the NACE study, the global cost of corrosion is estimated around 3.4% of global GDP, USD about 2.5 trillion. This is very big amount, right? So by controlling corrosion, right, we can save at least 30% of the cost, right? Example, like it can cause like accident to the bridge, to the structure, etc. By having a proper corrosion control, we can save, I mean, at least 30% off from this amount. And the second is about environment, right? So it can cause, if you don't control corrosion, it can cause environment disaster. Like one example in 2006 in Alaska, so where we got pipeline oil spill. So we got about, they got about 6,400 barrels of oil spill. So it cost the company, which is BP, right, about $170 million just to repair the section of the pipeline, and also 20 million as a fine because of this leak. And the third impact of corrosion safety. Okay, in 1985, right, in Switzerland, swimming pool roof collapsed due to chloride stress corrosion cracking on the stainless steel structure on the roof. So I'm gonna explain a little bit about this. So in a European country where basically because of the weather and the surrounding temperature outside is quite unpleasant, right, for swimming. So they need to construct or build a swimming pool uh, within building indoor, right? And also they need to heat up the water, right? So in swimming pool, in order to uh, control the hygienity of the water, you need to put chloride to, as a form of, to ensure that there's no bacteria in the water, to ensure the water quality is safe for for usage, right? So there's a chloride in the swimming water. And also they need to heat the pool to make sure the water is warm, right? So that people can swim, right? So basically when we heat the water, there's some vapor from the water, and also the vapor will go, upward, right? And seeping through the roof of the swimming pool. So the vapor contains chloride, and chloride at high temperature, about 50 degree, right? It react with the stainless steel roof structure, and from time to time, the corrosions become more imminent, and it could no longer, keep the structural integrity of the roof, and boom, so it's collapsed, and it caused 12 fatalities. So this is, one of the consequence. Basically, if we're not controlling corrosion properly. So I give you some, exposure about the role of corrosion engineer in oil and gas industry. What basically corrosion engineer do, right? So this is very high level. I just want you to have like some awareness. What basically my role, right? One of it is integrity management. So we need to ensure that the platform is managed, to ensure that we manage the corrosion, internal or external corrosion of that particular platform. So we also responsible for the corrosion control by managing the chemical treatments, right? And also for the corrosion monitoring, right? So because we cannot stop the corrosion, at least we can monitor it. So I will go into the details, how we monitor corrosion after this slide. And the next one is like operational support. So we need to make sure that the operating parameters of the process within the design, right, with the design parameter. And failure investigation. If there is any failure related to corrosion, so we will involve in the investigation, and also we analyze what caused the corrosion, so that we could suggest the proper mitigation way in order to avoid or prevent them from happening again. And also, uh, you're also involved in the design. Example, you want to design a new oil platform, right? Or design a new replacement vessel, engineering modification and repair. So, corrosion engineer will play a role into a design as well, because this is very important aspect as part of the designing in oil and gas industry. And you also get involved in life extension study. In the North Sea, most of the platform are designed for 25 years. However, most of the platform here operate beyond that, 40 years, 50 years. So in order to demonstrate that this platform still fit for continue to operate more than design life, so corrosion engineer play a key role to demonstrate that, okay, they are still fit for service. We still got structural integrity. We still got, I can say, process integrity to, extend beyond the design life of the platform or asset. All right, I would like to talk about the corrosion monitoring, how it works. So this is very basic, and just to give, basic awareness to all students, right? How we monitor corrosion. This is intrusive method by using corrosion coupon. As you could see on the first photo, so we got a corrosion coupon. So this is the coupon, and usually made from carbon steel or any materials that you want, or you can use the duplex stainless steel. But usually we will use carbon steel, because carbon steel is not very corrosion resistant, and it can give you indication if a corrosion happen. It will show you in this on this coupon. So we need to install the corrosion coupon in the process piping system. So this is piping, process piping, and this is the access fitting, and we put the corrosion coupon here. And there's a process fluid that will I can expose to the coupon, right? And we expose it for a preset period of time, right? And after set a period of time, let's say 1 year, we retrieve the coupon, we pull the coupon, and we compare what is the original weight of the coupon when we first install it and after we install it, right? From the weight difference divided by the time of exposure, we could see the corrosion rate of the coupon. If the fluid is corrosive, right, we could see, the coupons got degraded. So example, like this is the original version, and this is after exposure. We could see some wall loss, surface rusted here, and the corrosion product. Basically, corrosion already happened. So this is one of example how you can monitor corrosion. Okay, if any one of you interested to become a corrosion engineer, these are the relevant engineering degree, right? That basically considered to become can be considered to become a corrosion engineer. One of it is metallurgy and the welding course, because corrosion involved with metals, so metallurgy is one of the important aspect in the corrosion. Also welding. So this is one of the, I can say, very rare at the moment to have a qualified welding engineer. Example, in my company, right, we got about 5 corrosion engineer. However, we only got 1 qualified welding engineer, right? So this is a very rare skill, which is very highly in demand, right? And the second degree that we can consider is material science and engineering, which is from myself. The one that I took. I got this degree. Mechanical engineering also can enter corrosion as a corrosion engineer. And the last one is chemical engineering, because corrosion is like a electrochemical process. So it's quite, I can say, it's a good background to have a chemical engineering to become a corrosion engineer because our day-to-day life also involve a lot with a process and also, I mean, involved in, I mean, managing the operating parameters. So process engineer, chemical engineering is a relevant degree to become a corrosion engineer. So apart from oil and gas industry, where basically corrosion engineer can work, you can work in, example, different sector. First is construction, right? So I mean, corrosion engineer can involve in designing, I mean, designing structure and also use of materials that not susceptible to corrosion. I'm not aware about in Asia, right? But in the UK, because of the cold weather, they always put what I can say salt on the road to prevent the road from become I mean to prevent the formation of ice during winter time because I mean it's very cold during winter and the temperature always minus I mean in the minus region, right? So so we got salt in the environment, right? So salt when it's react with iron or steel structure, it can corrode. So that is relevant of a construction engineer in the construction industry. So aerospace. So in aerospace, I can say this is mainly on engine and turbine, where basically new technology, new R&D can I mean develop super alloy that resistant to corrosion, especially for high temperature corrosion. And next one is automotive. Yeah, corrosion engineer also got role in automotive, example in uh, designing a new material for alloy, lightweight, etc. And the fourth one is renewable. So this is, I can say, the future because everyone talking about energy transition, renewable, net zero energy, right? So corrosion engineer can play a big role. Example in geothermal energy, corrosion engineer is needed to design proper materials uh, that can withstand high temperature from a geothermal wind turbine, right? Because I mean the structure will be located at the sea, right? We're exposed to environment, so corrosion engineering require in order to protect the asset, the structure. All right, and the last part is insurance. So the insurance industry that I'm talking here is not like individual insurance. It's more like industrial insurance, right? Where I can say in London, we got several big company that can insure a lot of offshore platform, offshore asset, tanker, cargo oil, ship, right? So they will require experienced corrosion engineer to become an auditor, surveyor, in order for them to insure that particular asset. So this is one of the industry that basically corrosion engineer can enter. Right. Okay, I already talked about corrosion engineer, so now I would like to talk about professional accreditation, chartered engineer. So I am a chartered engineer. So what is chartered engineer basically? Chartered engineer is a engineer registered with the UK regulatory body for the engineering professional. In the UK, we got Engineering Council, right? So this is the internationally recognized title. So with the highest level of engineering competence and expertise. So basically, when you got this chartered status, so basically you show that you are competent in your job, right? So in Malaysia, it is equivalent to professional engineer or IR status from Board of Engineer Malaysia, right? Okay, So if you want to become a professional, you want to obtain professional accreditation such as chartered engineer, what is the process, right? So the process is, first, you need to join a professional engineering institution such as Institute of Corrosion, this is in the UK, or Institute of Materials Mining, Mineral and Mining. So we got this in Malaysia as well. And also Institute of Mechanical Engineer. I think most of students might aware about this. We got this institution, right? So what I could advise to you, I mean, since you are a student, you can join these professional bodies as a student member because student member usually free. So you could at least you could get some exposure what happened in the industry, what is the latest development. So and also it's quite for networking. First one, I mean, after you join, you can inform your institute that you are aiming for professional title, right? So after this, after you inform them, they will give you like a form and step how to become a chartered engineer. So from there, you can start, I mean, planning and work on your professional title. So number three, you need to record your professional development for the last 4 years. So I could say that if you are just started working, right? If you're aiming to become a chartered engineer, I would suggest you start recording your professional development from the first year you start working. CPD, there's a lot of way to record your CPD. One of it, you can attend technical talk, you can attend training, right? You, yeah, so that you could demonstrate that you got continuous professional development record. Why I would like to advise and strongly suggest you start from first year because usually people when it got 5 years of experience and it decided to become a chartered engineer, he or she need to spend a lot of time digging back what he or she did for the past 4 years, right? So this is what happened to me. So it's very time consuming. So if you start from first year, you aim to become a chartered engineer. Uh, I mean, yeah, just record it from first year. After you complete this, you need to prepare your technical case study and professional review report. So basically, technical case study, you can choose any topic relevant to your job and any interesting project that you involve during your work, right? Example, in my case, right, I I present about failure investigation that I carry out of one of the failure of a vessel that happened on one of the asset that I manage, right? And professional review report is like a very extensive summary of what you did from your graduation time until now, right? So it's like an essay about yourself, right? So once you completed this CPD, technical case study, professional review report, and then you can submit this to the body, right? After 1 or 2 months, after they review your application, you will be called for assessment and professional interview, right? So if you are competent, you believe you tick all the box, it will be a very easy process. And certification, you will get the certificate that you are chartered engineer, right? So out of this 6 steps, from my point of view, people always struggle on number 3 and 4, right? Because this is not so difficult. The only difficult is time, right? People always find that it's require a lot of time. No, basically it's not that hard, right? As long as you are dedicated your time. Example, you are disciplined. You dedicate about a week or 4 hours per week just to do this. I can say that in less than 3 months, yeah, you can complete all of these. I mean, the step 3 and 4, right? So this is like an example of professional accreditation certificate. This is what you can get once you obtain it. So the cert on the left is from Engineering Council. that you obtain chartered engineer, right? And the middle one is basically from Institute of Corrosion. This is from professional body, right? Yeah, as a professional member, right? And the final one is the cert from IOM3, Institute of Materials, Mining and Mineral, right? That you obtain as a professional member. So, what is the advantage of having professional accreditation like chartered engineer? So, one of it is it's improve your career prospect and employability. So, I can credit that my chartership, my professional member is one of the factors that helped me to get a job in Shell, right? Because if you want to hire someone, right, you got two options. You shortlisted about two people, both have similar capabilities, both have similar experience, right? And one have chartered engineer, one don't have a chartered engineer. So it gives you added advantage to the chartered engineer, the one that got chartered engineer, right? Because it demonstrates that you are competent, you got the will, you work extra hard to obtain that, and basically give you positive impression to the potential employer that you are capable. So obviously you will choose someone that has chartered engineer IR, right, rather than someone that got experience but don't have that accreditation, right? Okay, the second advantage is higher earning potential, right? So when you got chartered engineer, right, you got any other professional accreditation, you are not eligible. So by default, right, y- you can get more I can pay than someone that doesn't have that. So based on the study by engineering council that mentioned that people that got professional aggregation got 15 more extra in terms of salary compared for those don't have it, right? So number three is demonstration of a professional attitude, because one of the requirements to become a professional engineer, you need to demonstrate that okay, you got enough CPD, continuous professional development, you being assessed by panel that you are professional, you tick all the box. So this is one of the ticket to show that you are professional, right? And the fourth one is enhanced status, right? Leading to higher self-esteem. When you got that, you are become more confident. If you want to give talk to anybody's or something, when you got this title, right? So basically, you automatically you become uh, I mean, more confident because you accredited, you accredited, right? And you are recognized that you are professional. And the last one, international recognized of competence. So this is recognized mainly worldwide. So in Middle East, if you got chartership, it's an advantage for you because they also recognize that. Uh, if you go to Malaysia as well, correct me if I'm wrong, right? So if you got chartered engineer, if you go to the board of engineer Malaysia, I think in order to get IR, right? I think the process will be very, very much simpler. You don't need to start again from scratch, right? I think there's some conversion uh, process, but it does help you to get IR. In Malaysia, right? Okay. Apart from professional accreditation from Engineering Council UTC, you can upskill yourself by taking professional courses. So example like Dr. Indra just mentioned just now, you need to upskill yourself. I'm very agree with him, right? There are various options to upskill yourself. Example, if you want to become, for me as a course engineer, these are well recognized professional institutions that I could upskill myself, right? The first one is American Petroleum Institute. You can take API 570, 510, 580, 571. So this is like their own specific course, right? And American Society of Mechanical Engineering. So you can have like a plant inspector level 1 and 2, right? So you apply the course, you go to the course, right? And AMPP, right? You can have training like become a coating specialist, cathodic protection specialist, or corrosion technologist that I currently have. And number 4 is like a welding institute. You can take a C-sweep, you can become a chartered welding engineer. Since these are basically professional bodies, it also could help, right? I mean, I can say to increase your profile, right? If you want to apply the job, if you got this kind of professional certificate, trust me, you will be in advantage, right? So since I'm working in the UK, right, I just want to share with you what is the working culture in the UK, right? So just for your awareness. So in the UK, we work mainly based on trust, right? Example, if I'm ill, I cannot go to work, right? I don't need to go to the doctor to get an MC. I just message my boss that I'm ill, right? I cannot come to work. And basically, my boss said, okay, all right, take a good rest, have take a few days until you are better, and you can come to work, right? So when you be given trust, right, you need to make sure that uh, you maintain the trust. There will be no cheating, right? So because trust is earned. So based on this, we become more honest in doing our stuff, and there's no point of cheating or mengulat or mengula, right? And the second is flexible working hours. They are very flexible. So I can say that don't, uh, you can come work at 9, finish at 5. It's up to you. It's very flexible. You can come early, 6 a.m. You finish early, right? Or example in the example for me, right? Sometime I need to take my daughter to school. So 9 a.m. from the office, I go out, send my daughter, and go back to the office. Make sure that I work extra hours to make up the time, right? Because it's very flexible and also it's based on trust. And another point is about they emphasize work-life balance. So they are very particular about this, right? Quality time with family. Example, on Friday, right? If you work beyond 4 p.m. in the UK here, it's not normal because they expect you to finish early on Friday to have time for yourself. During the weekend, no, nobody will bother you except if you have emergency, right? Because they want to make sure that everyone got quality time about time to yourself, time to which you earn to yourself and to spend with family, do whatever you like, right? And because of this, it make people happier, right? When you're happy, right, you become more productive. So, and also they are very disciplined, right? This is what I can say that we can learn from them. I mean, this I what I show here is all the good thing, right? So that we can learn. So what I can say is in terms of discipline, example, work time between 8 to 4, right? They are very disciplined to make sure that they work in this time, right? There will be no like a chit chat, sorry, chit chatting or copy, right? Because they make sure that they complete the hours, they finish the job, so that they don't need to carry out the work to the next day or procrastinate for a long time, right? And active participation. always speak up. What I notice, we Asian are very passive, right? We are not very active to speak up. If we feel like something wrong, we need to speak up. This is very positive attribute because they are really appreciate this kind of attribute because it show us that we are involved in the conversation, we involved in the meeting. If we attend meeting, make sure that we talk, we ask question, right? There are no stupid question, right? If you don't know, ask rather than keep quiet and not participate. And the last point is about the flat hierarchy. So the flat hierarchy is like even you are boss, right? And you are graduate engineer, right? So it's a very big gap in terms of the hierarchy, but they treat you like a normal work. There's no like a hierarchy that okay, because you're a graduate engineer, you cannot challenge whatever decision made by your manager, by boss, right? So in this case, it gives you like a equal opportunity to all, right? And as a result, the I can say the workforce here is very mature. And example like in the UK, right? My colleague, 29 years old, 30 years old, can become OIM, which is offshore installation manager in an offshore platform, right? Where basically we see, in Malaysia, right? Usually, this role is for very, senior position because I mean that colleague, I can say, he or she very good in the job and very mature and got good leadership, and because of that, yeah, he can become a role that basically we assume is for more senior role. Yeah. So these are the good, I can say, attribute that I could say working culture in the UK. So I'm reaching my last slide, right? So I would like to share you what is the tips and advice that I could share to all participants. Is the first, when you work, find a mentor. Is provide guidance to you. Example, when I work in Lloyd Register, I found um I my senior engineer as a mentor. He is the one who helped me to point which course that I need to take, right, in order to make myself more attractive in terms of employability. Right, example, I need to take like API 570 course. I need to have like a professional uh, accreditation, chartered engineer. So, I mean, he provide guidance to me how to do that. So I advise to all of you, when you work, try to find a mentor that can help you to guide you to find a job. I mean, to help, uplift your career. And the second point is about 5 years plan. This is very important because you need to see what you want to see yourself in 5 years, right? Example, if you see that you want to be a subject matter expert in this particular discipline, right? So you can plan what you need to take in order to become the subject matter expert. You can take this course, you can attend this course, and it also help to build your, I can say, development plan, right? So, example, if you work in like a multinational company, every year you got a professional development plan, right? Where it can give you uh, career choice, your, set of training that you can take, right? Example, for me, I would like to become a subject matter expert in corrosion engineering, right? So, Alhamdulillah, I already got enrolled in a technical authority course that basically I will complete in 4 months' time, right? So, you need to plan ahead what you're going to be, and from there, you could identify what you want or what you need to do. The third point is you need to always upskill yourself. You need to invest into yourself. Okay. So engineering is a good career. So if example what you see in the social media that people complain, oh, the salary that you got is very small. It's better to work in the, I can say, hustle income, right? Because you got more salary. But you need to reflect. Okay. I mean, uh, if you are stagnant, right? You're doing the same thing, right? You don't have any added, you don't add any added value to the any company or organization. Why do you think that the company want to promote you, want to give you more salary? Because if you quit, they can quickly find replacement for you, right? So what you need to do is, if you found your passion into that particular any particular field or any particular profession, always keep upgrading yourself, invest into yourself. I mean, it's never, I mean, it's one of the always give you return, investment that always give you return. Example, if you invest in unit trust, if you invest in property, not guarantee that you get a positive a return. But if you invest to yourself, like example, I took API 570 using my own expense because when I asked my previous employer I want to get this course, my previous boss said no. I mean, we don't have the budget for that. So what I did is basically I used my own saving, get into that course, obtain API 570, API 580, and when I attend interview for Shell, so they see this is an advantage, and I got the job. So this is the return that I could, I mean, I could say to you that I received. This is positive uh, return that I got from by investing into myself, right? And the fourth point is actively attending relevant technical talk, right? There's a lot of professional body in Malaysia. There's a lot of I can say talk symposium. Feel free to attend it because there's a lot of positive that you can obtain from that. One is you can create networking, you can update with latest technology with industry, you can meet a vendor, you can meet other operator. From there, yeah, it can create a, I can say, positive circle of connection, right? And the last point is leave comfort zone and explore, actively looking for a new opportunity. You need to become competitive, don't become passive, right? So because I can say the opportunity is not limited, it's boundaryless, right? Everywhere. Example, I when I finished my master in the UK, right? I am the foreign country. I'm a minority, so I try my best to get a job here, right? Because I mean, I like challenge. I like always, challenge myself. Very competitive, and yeah, alhamdulillah, I managed to get a job here, and until now, I'm still working here, right? So this is the end of my slides, and I open for any Q&A session to all my participants. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Azri, for very, I can say, quite very technical presentation as well about the scope of corrosion. I think, of course, expert akan cakap simple je kan, tapi kita yang general audience ni, okay, that's industry looks like. Okay, adakah yang nak tanya soalan direct? Turn on your mic before, if not, I can read from the chat box. But kalau ada yang nak cakap, silakan.
Encik Azri.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So saya dah post question tu dalam chat, tapi saya ni lah. Looking back on your career as a corrosion engineer in the UK, what would you say has been the most significant change you've witnessed in the industry, and how has it impacted your work?
Okay. apa yang saya boleh cakap kan, the most significant change is now, future, I mean the outlook of oil and gas industry, right? From most polluting industry now to energy transition. Everyone talk about energy transition, right? And one of the factors that affecting energy transition is how this industry can stay relevant, right? So apa yang saya nampak, macam a lot of asset, they want to make sure that uh, they can, I can say, produce as long as they could. So mostly they design for 25 years. Bagaimana dia orang I mean industri ni nak nampak dia orang tak, dia macam develop a new field. What I can do is macam sorry, I need to rephrase this. So ni dia nak perlu nampak macam dia boleh sustain lagi lama instead of invest a new project, right? So dia kena demonstrate that dia boleh sorry, I need to rephrase this.
Okay, sebab ada certain tu memang Shell in advance dah bagi tahu banyak benda yang agak confidential. So it's okay to reframe it a bit your sentence, Azri.
Dari industri, dari sebab yang operator also want to show that they are committed to energy transition. At the same time, diorang also nak kena produce as much as they can untuk keep profitable, right? So in order to do that, they put emphasis in corrosion management. Diorang kena make sure that diorang punya existing asset can last longer. So this is the importance of life extension. This is where the role of a corrosion engineer kena play a big role to ensure that the asset lasts as possible. It's more than design life. So rather than we decommission the asset, example, asset in Malaysia pun banyak-banyak yang old. So kita also kena demonstrate that it can last longer, so that dia tak nampak yang kita waste the existing infrastructure, at the same time maintain profitable. So this is the opposition that I would see, right?
Okay, thank you Mr. Azri. Okay, banyak soalan di sini, but saya bacakanlah untuk diorang. Okay, soalan dari Nur Diana Alisa. How do you start getting used to a new country? Do you ever feel homesick or miss home during this time?
So saya boleh cakap yes, sometimes saya homesick, tapi now used to it. Saya balik every year, especially during Raya. Tapi Raya tahun ni saya tak balik. Now the good thing is about we got technology, we got FaceTime. I always communicate with my family. And one of the big things that helped me to beat the homesick is got friends and family here. So we got quite a sizable Malaysian community in Aberdeen. So we always got a gathering. So that helps to, I mean, for the homesicks. And also need to consider as well, I mean, now it's common, Malaysian working abroad. So benda ni is a very common thing. And I think the trend will continue because opportunity everywhere. Bumi ni luas and globalization, and Malaysians are very talented, are very appreciated all around the world. So don't feel afraid to try any opportunity outside. Take the challenge and always, give a try. I mean, they're always. I mean, if you are not happy, there's always option for you to go back. Right. Example for my case, right? I mean, I also plan to go back, settle back in Malaysia after I done, probably after several years abroad. So I also got a plan to settle back in Malaysia because for me, Malaysia is home. And yeah, that's my opinion to this.
But I think kalau di UK, yes, friends memang support system dengan kawan-kawan tu kan very important lah kita dapat rasa. Contoh, okay, how long you been in UK already, Azri?
So this is my 12 years in the UK.
Dah dapat permanent resident lah kan?
So saya dah dapat permanent resident dekat UK sebab visa only valid until 6 years, right? So in order to qualify, to extend my stay, I need to have like a permanent resident in the UK. So I don't need a visa anymore. Yeah.
Okay, if talking about potential yes, I agree that Malaysian is very talented actually, but we always underrated ourselves. Do you agree with that? What do you think?
Yes. I can say Malaysia are very talented, very hardworking. We got good reputation in. I can say if you work abroad, like we got good reputation. I think the only things that basically the downside from what I can say from Malaysia, we are very, sometimes we are very passive, right? We don't want, we are very shy. We don't want to show that. I mean, our opinion. We don't want to demonstrate that we are capable. So I think that's the attribute that probably we can basically improve, right? So to show that we are, I mean, very very vocal, right?
Betul lah.
So yeah.
Betul. Dalam kelas sebab tu lah encourage so tanya soalan. So jadi aktif instead of passive. Dekat industri nampak kan very important If you looking forward to be promoted, to strengthen yourself in your industry tu, you should change your personality lah kan. So at the university level lah you develop all this skill. Okay, we go to the next question. Banyak soalan nanti tak sempat habis. Okay.
Tak apa, saya ada masa, don't worry.
Yeah, okay. From Muhammad Zakri Ashraf, in the future, is there any job scope in mechatronic engineering in companies such as Petronas or Shell? So
Saya
kita ada mechatronic student juga dalam ni, yes.
Saya cakap yes, as long as, I mean, you could demonstrate your capability. And then one of the key is no matter what is your engineering degree, right? But in your CV, if you demonstrate that you are capable, I mean, you show your skills, because I think what I could say that 80% of what I learn in my degree, only 20% that I apply, right? So degree itself is just it's a ticket for you, right? But the most important is apart from getting I can say good result. I mean, you also have like a good CV, good resume, because these are the one that differentiate you with other candidate. How you want to upsell yourself when you apply for the job, right? Because I think what kind of degree, I think it's important if you want to apply for a specific role, right? But as long as your engineering degree, you get proper experience, you got, I mean, good internship experience in certain company, because it demonstrate to the recruiter or HR that yeah, you are capable. And what I would like to suggest to, I mean, to the final year student, go to, I mean, any resume improvement class, because these are very important. Can suggest several, I can say, good CV coach to upskill, to uplift your profile. Yeah.
Okay.
I hope
Next.
I answer
Yeah.
your question.
Ya, kalau dia rasa belum sampai, jadi boleh tanya sekali lagi. Okay, I think dalam mekatronik ni lebih kepada apa robotic, automation dan sebagainya. I think yes, they have futures a lot in Petronas and
Yes.
Shell pun. Ya,
So
dia
I can.
bukannya limit kepada macam material, chemical, mechanical. Tadi kalau you all tengok, Azri presented dekat satu pipeline kan, kat situ boleh nampak yang corrosion di mana, material di mana, mechanical di mana, chemical di mana. So setiap element of the engineering tu, when it come together and then dapatlah hasil dia. Yes.
So Dr. Rabiza, saya just nak tambah, lupa nak cakap. So kalau mechatronic engineering, one of the discipline that basically applicable for mechatronic engineering is instrument engineer or electrical engineer, right? Because instrument engineer ni dia deal dengan banyak, sensor, dengan banyak electronic interface dekat offshore platform. So I can say that that's the thing. The oil and gas industry is very big. I can say it's very wide discipline. It's not like a specific to particular I can say subject. So yang saya present mainly based on material and corrosion only. It's very one of the I can say sub discipline within in this industry. Actually, it's very big. So I think one of the thing that important is awareness, where basically you can apply your skill and degree, right? Apa yang saya notice masa saya degree tu, we don't have that kind of awareness because kita tak ada macam exposure apa yang career route yang kita boleh buat. So and this event, right, is very good because it's one of the event that should give you awareness and exposure to you what you can do with your degree and career option.
Okay, very good answer, Mr. Azri. Okay, we go to the next question. What is the most common necessary upskill certificate for fresh graduate engineer?
Okay, for fresh graduate engineers, so sebelum saya, pergi for the details, need to understand apa kita nak jadi, what is your passion, right? I think it's important to identify apa career path that we want to be, what is our passion. Example for me, right? Masa saya intern tu, saya discover that semiconductor is not for me. Kerja di manufacturing is not for me. Because saya cepat rasa boring, saya tak suka buat benda yang sama every time, right? So from there is like my turning point, right? Dari minat saya ke semiconductor, terus okay, semiconductor is not for me and saya rasa saya tak boleh proceed dengan industry ni anymore. So I need to find alternative. So my alternative that I discovered that I like in oil and gas industry. And the good thing is about this industry is not dealing with automation. You're dealing with people, you're dealing with project, you're dealing with so basically every day the challenge is different. So saya nak suggest find your passion first. Apa kamu nak jadi dengan your career. If you're happy with that one, right, you can go to that route. Okay, you can find a mentor, you can find like a senior engineer into that role, siapa yang passionate into that one, join the professional body. Then from there you can identify which course that you can take to upskill yourself, right? Yeah.
So yang all the certificate tu when you join the international body kan, professional body, normally dia akan ada seminar, workshop, introduce about this course. So kat situlah kita dapat notice dan kita boleh apply lah once we have time dan sebagainya. Okay, the next question. I heard that it's hard to join into oil and gas industries in overseas, especially if you have no connection in oil and gas background or in ONG background. What's your opinion?
So, saya nak cakap it's partly true. Because but masa saya first join pun, saya don't have any connection. The only thing that I got is my experience and also my master certificate, right? So what I would like to suggest is, I mean, you have you need to have a right skill in order to join. No matter, I mean, you need to have as long as you got right skill, you have a right experience. Example for me, before I joined in the overseas company, right? I work 1.5 year in Technic Malaysia. This is one of the good experience, right? And I got the right quality in order to join the job. So I think that's a start, right? So once you get that, another thing is important is networking, right? So how to find a networking is by joining the professional bodies. Example, I joined Institute of Corrosion UK. That's where I create my networking with other colleague or industry player, subject matter expert in this industry. So saya cakap, as long as you got the right qualities, right degree, right experience, I can say that opportunities are everywhere.
Okay, good. Saya rasa sekarang pun LinkedIn tu one of the main platform juga kan for student untuk find the expert there. Okay, especially untuk tengok, untuk get the information and related to the our interest. Okay, they have one question. Ini soalan assignment ni. Student first year tanya ni. Because we have also material for my subject yang join. Dia baru dia tanya terus okay, what are the main properties of materials that are suitable to be used in the oil and gas industry? Soalan bocor lah ni, boleh tanya panel
Okay,
terus.
all right. So the main properties, right? So the aim for us is to prevent leakage, to prevent corrosion. Not to prevent. We cannot stop corrosion, but we can prevent it. We can control corrosion, right? There are several aspects you nak consider untuk material selection tu. First is economical, right? Okay. Example, kalau reservoir engineer pergi buat survey dekat particular field, okay, dia cakap, okay, we got about you can produce about 20 years of oil from this field. Takkan kita nak build platform yang will to last, yang design last for 100 years. So we need to consider economic aspect into that. Kalau you only can produce for 20 years, kita mungkin design for only last for 25 years. So kalau design for 25 years, kan, kita tak perlu nak guna expensive material. So we use the most commonly used materials and in the process, such as carbon steel. Okay. So kalau based on the design, based on the process, kalau the process, the I can say the properties of the produced fluid is very aggressive, is very corrosive, we upgrade to more corrosion resistant alloy, right? Tapi corrosion resistant alloy is 3 times more expensive than carbon steel. Example, kalau asset tu harga 100 juta, kalau kita change to corrosion resistant alloy, is become 300 juta. So dia banyak faktor kita kena consider. So economic aspect and also suitability of the process. So yeah, these 2 important factor. Tapi the aim is we want to ensure that the process, the material that we select is suitable for the service. Yeah.
Okay, yang lebih tu kena cari sendiri lah Lydia. Okay, so Tun Irfan, sorry for my poor English. Is there any age requirement if you wanted to go to offshore in oil and gas? I was an electrical technician in oil and gas at Johor, and I had that problem last year. I really wanted to join my fellow workmates and a bit jealous when I'm the only one who could not join them due to my age. At that time, the age requirement was 35 years old and above.
Bagi saya, kalau tak ada tak ada age limit untuk for oil and gas. I think since you are still young, I would suggest one of it is getting extra certificate just to make yourself more advantage. Sebab bagi saya kita kurang awareness about the benefit of having extra certificate, right? Sorry, saya mungkin tak boleh comment from electrical point of view sebab saya don't have awareness, but I can say is from my field. Apa saya dapat jumpa is banyak orang-orang muda kita yang contoh macam there's a career option. Example, if you're not good in academic, there are always other opportunity for you in order to join, and you can become like a inspector. Basically tak perlu degree pun kan, ada diploma ke, ada high school. Tapi yang buat inspector ni mahal ialah dia punya certificate kan, dia punya skill. Bila kita ada certificate tu, basically it's a ticket for you to demonstrate that you are capable, you got license to do that, right? Example that you can you can get a certificate from TWI, or you can certificate from what I can say, ASME. Like example, like you can become a specialist in inspection, right? Inspection technique, a specialist in welding, right? Boleh jadi welder, offshore welder, you see, semua tu boleh. Or you can become like a offshore painter, right? Tukang cat tapi kerja kat offshore kan. Tapi apa tiket dia ialah dia kena dapat certificate. You can get from NIS, coating specialist. You can become coating inspector. You can become a NDT inspector, level 2, level 3, right? Semua tu is I can say the ticket for you to enter this industry.
To add on, kalau kat Malaysia kita panggil apel based on experience ni apel. So even dia tak ada pun degree, dia tak ada pun certain ni, based on dia punya skill tadi, dia boleh dapatkan master dan sebagainya. Okay, very good question, answers and question as well, I think. So now we move to Afiq Sharmin. We are designing an ocean trash collector, short form dia OTRA CO, Mera of SUS 304 to be operated in seawater, and there is a concern regarding possible corrosion. How do offshore platform columns resist corrosion? Is there a special design consideration to allow for prolonged resistance to corrosion? Very technical ni silakan.
Okay, so saya baca use 304 stainless steel, right? So 304 stainless steel memang tak suitable for marine environment, right? So one of the reason why 304 tak sesuai ialah I think it's like molybdenum, right? So for marine environment, we usually go to 316 stainless steel because it got molybdenum, so it's resistant to pitting corrosion, right? So saya cakap material ni tak sesuai untuk seawater service because exposed to marine environment, right? And it can susceptible to pitting corrosion. And how offshore platform column resist corrosion? Okay, offshore platform column mainly made from carbon steel, right? Carbon steel, this is not bukan corrosion resistant alloy, okay? Tapi how to protect it against corrosion? So we can protect it using coating. So heavy duty coating, right? So it can last, I can say, at least 20 years after exposure to the environment, right? Before coating to rosak or breakdown, right? So apart from coating, they also got secondary protection, which is catalytic protection. We use sacrificial anode. So sacrificial anode, kita guna connect dengan structure tu, kita put aluminium bar dekat platform tu. So kenapa saya panggil secondary? Benda ni only react when coating start to fail. Okay? Coating is our main barrier to protect against corrosion. Bila coating tu dah rosak, ia akan sacrificial anode tu akan start work to protect the structure against corrosion. So this is how we protect offshore platform column against corrosion. So so I hope I answer your question.
Okay, I think this is cover also assignment untuk yang first year tu. Banyak jawapan dekat situ. Okay, so we go to the next question. As per your mention previously, you invested in yourself using your own expenses as one of your previous employer refused to sponsor you due to the lack of budget. Does this mean that in this country, whenever we have the initiative or taking additional course or certifications, it is highly possible to be applying for sponsorship by the company we working in?
Okay, saya pernah nampak, correct me if I'm wrong lah. Macam dekat Malaysia kita ada kan scheme at least subsidized by semi-government bodies untuk kos-kos macam ni kan. So kalau jumpa macam ni, apply je ambil sebab saya tahu cost for international I can say international cost ni is quite expensive. For example, API 570 yang saya ambil kat Malaysia cost about RM10,000 untuk cost tu. Okay. Tu belum masuk exam lagi kan. Tu just untuk belajar course tu. I think exam for another 4,000. So saya boleh cakap dalam total yang 15,000 untuk dapat satu certificate tu. Okay.
Tapi it worth it lah Azrin. Dapat masuk
For
Shell.
me it's worth it. Okay, sebab I just give advantage to you when you're looking for new opportunity, right? Kalau you macam for me after 5 years in Repsol, saya rasa macam stagnant. I need something. I need to go explore another opportunity. I got a few interview in Middle East as well, but I got a job in Shell, so I opt to go to Shell, right? Because I think in terms of thinking about future prospect, I think it's better for me to to get a job in Shell, right? For the long run, right? But for me, I want to play long game instead of the short game, right? So yeah, that's the reason why I made my choice. Yeah. So yeah, I think kalau kat Malaysia, kalau tak silap saya kalau SHRDC, Selangor Human Resource, kan? Dr. Rabiza, ada kan body tu? Saya pernah nampak dulu dia ada bagi macam subsidized training course. So keep looking because I think kat Malaysia opportunity tu everywhere. Yeah.
I think effort untuk find out tu that's the most important, because jangan tunggu peluang tu datang, memang tak akan datang sebab sekarang ni dunia sangat kompetitif, everyone looking for the job, everyone looking for the better opportunity. So kalau you tunggu durian jatuh tu, mungkin lah kan durian memang nature dia akan jatuh, tapi sekarang pun orang dah kait kan sebab nak jaga quality dan sebagainya. So that same with SSO. So we need to go and find the job, not kerja tu yang datang cari kita. Okay, kerana betul, ada banyak. Even I think I believe one of my colleague dekat UiTM ni di sponsor untuk ambil certain certificate about non-destructive testing NDT. So it's very costly juga, I think. Kalau yang ni ada lecturer lain kena Dr. Bibi kan, dia di sponsor. So a lot of courses ni memang kalau ada keperluan dari segi industri tersebut, okay, saya pernah dengar industri contoh macam Toray, dia sponsor dia punya staff untuk ambil dia panggil energy punya courses untuk install their own ni lah electrical punya generation. So dia kena belajar dari segi sustainability energy semua tu, and company memang invest on that. So but of course if we have macam our own driving force tadi tu macam Azri buat, so it's a very good initiative actually. Okay, we go to the next question.
Sorry Rabiza, Dr. Rabiza, saya nak emphasize lah. Contoh macam my previous employer, saya cakap saya nak jadi ni, saya nak ambil ni, tapi sebab budget, dia orang decide, okay no. Don't let other to, I can say, jangan biar benda lain yang menghalang apa yang kita nak. Okay, so kalau kita percaya macam benda ni boleh help us, and contoh macam employer, okay, decided not to sponsor, one of the ways we can use our own initiative, right? Because for them, they won't see the value, but for us, if you see the value, just go for it, kan? Jangan bagi macam kan say other party to become penghalang untuk apa yang kita nak, apa yang kita minat, kan? So you got your own control. You are the one who control your destiny. Don't let others to control your destiny.
Betul. Okay, so the next question, Emirul Aidil. I'm really interested to become a welding engineer in oil and gas industry. What is the requirement to become a welding engineer? Is the demand for welding engineer nowadays still high?
Yes, I can say it's quite a good career option because welding engineer is very in demand, especially in the fabrication. Example fabrication, joining prospect tu banyak, luas, okay? So saya cakap yes, is in demand. So in order to become that, I would like to suggest you, take course lah. TWI, the Welding Institute, from the Welding Institute is one of the I can say world recognized body for welding. So they offer several courses for welding. Become I think kat Malaysia kita pun ada TWI. So I think you can probably in contact with them or cari making connection welding engineer and asking their opinion, because they orang boleh guide you. Saya rasa macam all the experienced engineer, the well established, they are happy to help. Especially yalah, orang Malaysia, anak bangsa kita, as long as you show your willingness to learn, you show the effort, kan, memang seronok nak tolong, kan. Kalau orang yang minta tolong tu tunjuk effort, because we want everyone to be succeed, because I think the career prospect is luas, peluang tu luas. Cuma masalah dengan I can see dengan bangsa kita ialah kita kurang dapat pendedahan, exposure into this industry. So kalau nak jadi welding engineer, yes, cari welding engineer kat linking connection ke apa, and ask them, okay, what is the steps to become a welding engineer? Yeah, because I think welding engineer is because it's more on hands-on experience, right, rather than more on theoretical. And another things that help welding engineer is in metallurgy. If there's any subject related to metallurgy, ambil subject tu, because it help to build your profile, become a strong candidate. If there's any requirement to become there's a vacancy for welding engineer, yeah, so that's the right quality. Yeah.
Okay, so far this is the last question, but I hope student boleh post lagi soalan untuk seterusnya. From Muhammad Nabi Ifan, I want to know if there are other professions on offshore platform that are not necessarily related to engineering. For example, like a paramedic or financial analyst.
Okay, actually banyak. Okay, profession. Okay, this is saya assume this question is kerja offshore, Okay. Saya nak cakap, okay, saya tak kerja offshore, saya mainly office based, tapi saya sometimes pergi offshore untuk buat site survey or untuk familiarize dengan platform tu, so that it help me to do my day-to-day job. Okay, so untuk platform profession dekat platform ada banyak, okay? So you can become offshore medic, okay? Kalau ada medical background nak join offshore, yeah, it's a quite good career option as well. Kalau you a chef, kan, pandai masak ke apa, caterer ke apa, yeah, there's an option to become a offshore, cook or chef, and which is I think the pay is much better because it's considered, you know, daily allowance, the risk, right, and also yeah, apa lagi, boleh jadi offshore inspector. I think this is a very very good pay position, right? Dapat instead of jadi because yalah, anything kalau kerja offshore tu kalau kita buat kat onshore, kita boleh buat kat offshore, yeah, it's basically it's probably 2 or 3 times better in term of salary to see, yeah. So I can say that banyak profession yang boleh di offshore, ada di offshore, yeah.
Okay, thank you Encik Azri. Tadi pun ada kan yang tukang cat kan, itu semua tak ada lah perlukan basic engineering dan sebagainya, tetapi saya percaya training tu tetap quite intensive training lah untuk lepas ke offshore tu ada dia punya apa dia punya boleh saya rasa ini one of the question lah kan. Untuk pergi ke offshore tu perlu ada a few like exercise training and then baru dia akan issue the certificate kan untuk enter the offshore, bukan simply boleh pergi lah.
Yes, so untuk qualify untuk kerja offshore, kena buat medical check to ensure that fit for offshore, right? To one of the requirement. And the second thing is you need to ambil BOSET. BOSET is like a basic offshore. Saya lupa dia punya acronym. Tapi dia macam buat training for you in case kalau you know kalau get accident during helicopter ke apa, so it give you exposure what you gonna do during emergency escape from helicopter, kan?
Okay, so we have another question from Muhammad Irfan Akif. What do you mean by you feel stagnant at the previous company?
Okay, saya rasa stagnant sebab saya buat the similar stuff for 5 years, right? Tapi the challenge still, I mean, become get used. Saya dah jadi macam routine, kan? So I think compare kalau dengan semiconductor, saya rasa saya boleh last probably 3 bulan je. Tapi dalam ini saya rasa 5 tahun for me is stagnant because for me Repsol is not a big company, it's quite small, and in UK, saya cakap in UK dia punya asset dekat offshore is tak banyak, okay? So end up saya rasa macam I'm doing a routine stuff and there's no more, I can say, opportunity for me to grow, right? Example, saya rasa macam I want this kind of training, and one of the reason why my previous boss declined because she said that basically kita nak apply this kind of knowledge is not necessary because I think we are very a small company. There's no room for new opportunity. There's no new project coming, right? We just maintain the existing platform, right? So that's the thing for me is quite extended. Compared to Shell, it's 10 times bigger. So it got worldwide asset, right? It also got offshore platform. It got onshore gas processing, right? It also got a lot of new project coming in, right? So the opportunity is big, right? So that is the thing that motivate me to join other company rather than stagnant, because for me is yeah, you are your own, you are the one who chart your own destiny. So you make your choice, and yeah, if you got better opportunity, yeah, just go for it. So that's how I felt. Felt stagnant after 5 years in my previous company.
Okay, we have one question from Alia Asri. Can you share the benefits of working with Shell? What motivated you to keep working with them?
Okay, so I can say that Shell, I mean, is the second largest oil and gas company in the world after ExxonMobil, and it has been consistently rated as a best employer in the UK, right? So in term of development, in term of, I can say a lot of aspect in term of training. Example that I mean, I want to become a subject matter expert in this corrosion engineering, right? So I've discussed this with my line manager, and they agree to put me in a technical authority course, right? So I can become like a, I can say one of the career paths for me to become a subject matter expert is to become a technical authority. So I can basically give authority to sign any like a, you know, if there's any, yeah, it's like a, what is the analogy? Okay, kalau kat Malaysia kan, you perlukan sign daripada IR or untuk approve this project etc kan, untuk so you got this opportunity, you got this authority. So that's the one in terms of development of yourself. So this is a very good company to develop yourself, and also every 4 years there's opportunity for you to go to other part of Shell, right? Example, I work in the UK um, in 3 years time, so I got opportunity probably to move to other part of the Shell in the world. Example, I aim to work in Qatar, which is I mean, because Shell got a big presence there. Pearl GTL is JV between Qatar Energy, so I want to expose to that I mean environment, right? So in 3 years time, inshallah, if I mean everything go as per plan, or I can go to Brunei to join Brunei Shell Petroleum. So in terms of international mobility is quite common within Shell, because they encourage people to grow. One of the things to grow is, yeah, just go to different segment in the industry. So that's one of the, I can say, motivate I mean me to work with Shell. And same time, I mean I mean in terms of colleague, you see they are very very capable. They are, I mean, as you know, I mean, to join Shell is not an easy path, right? I joined Shell as an experienced hire, because I think I don't have chance to join them as a during graduate, because they choose only the best, right? It's not only academic, but I think you need to have leadership. You need to work very well rounded in order to become a grad. I mean, to join them as a graduate. So what I can say is there are always opportunity for you to join. I mean, if you, I can say, have the right quality, have the right experience, right? I can say, I mean, as long as you work hard and got proper experience, there's always opportunity for you to join. I mean, like a major company like Shell. Yeah.
So in other way, gaji pun banyak lah kan, share compare to other company. Kan. Tapi of course big companies, their career progress toward the staff tu, dia punya support system, okay, how the way they grooming, because they want to create a leader. So therefore they macam Aziz share tadi, dia willing to macam bagi courses, attend here and there untuk build their skills so that become an expert or even a leader lah to the team. Okay, for student jangan lupa isi attendance sebelum kita habis sesi. I think almost finished now. So we already post the link. Please fill lah dengan nama yang betul lah, sebab nanti dia auto generate your email certificate tu. So kalau you letak nama pendek, so CJ you nama pendek nanti. So tak boleh nak pakai untuk kerja. So ini one of your boleh gunalah kan dalam CV nanti dan sebagainya. So make sure letak nama yang betul dengan bukan nama samaran dan sebagainya, and then masukkan email yang betul juga. Kalau tak, you tak receive lah nanti the certificate. Okay, last round, any further questions to
Ada satu
Mr.
di
Azlan?
Dr. Liza.
Ya, silakan. Oh, ada satu. Okay, Assalamualaikum sir. Aiman bin Sulaiman ni student saya ni. I would like to ask what do you do when a company have controversy that surrounds it?